some on this edition of Tim and Sid. Good news of the day, an actual countdown to kickoff. And we have to get to some of the match games because there are some real good answers that are emanating from the internet right now at Tim and Sid, if you want to go look it up.
Ewan Currie of the Sheepdogs joining us, a man who put together the rhythm you just heard coming out of break. A man, the only man more a part of this show than Tim or I is Ewan Currie, and famous. Ewan joining us here on Tim and Sid. How you doing, brother? How you holding up?
Hey, fellas, I'm good. It's Friday. I got a beer. I don't know why it matters that it's Friday to me because I don't have any work anyway. But here we are.
It's the next. We're going into the short weekend as opposed to the long weekend. This is the start of the short weekend.
It's all a weekend to me, brother.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. This is the end of the long weekend. I reached out to you about a week ago, and was told that you were working out. Is that still the release for you and Currie?
Yeah, it is. I've been, like I said, I've been doing these like prison cell style workouts, where you don't have a lot of space around you and you're doing like the dips off the bench and lifting the cinder block dumbbells and stuff like that. And what people are like, man, I wish if I went to prison I would just read and get jacked. I'm trying to make good on that sort of that fantasy.
You're in a Marky Mark video. You're doing curls with the cinder blocks. I don't know.
Good vibrations.
That if it's just me.
Good vibrations. Ewan Currie. Ewan Currie of the Sheepdogs here on Tim and Sid. So, Batista's bat flip home run. Where were you? Who were you surrounded by? What drink did you have in your hand? What happened to said drink after the home run? Walk me through it.
We were on that road that year for that entire playoff run. I had the summer off, and I went to probably like 30-plus games that year. I was living in Toronto, and unfortunately hit the road for the playoffs. So we were watching that game. I think we were in Tucson, Arizona, and we were at the hotel bar, and we walked in, highly anticipating the game. And there was like a 100-year-old bartender in there, and like a 20-inch, or 27-inch TV, which is basically tiny for modern bar standards. And so we convinced him to find the game. It's still first round of the playoffs, so like people in Arizona aren't exactly like, jacked up for the Jays Rangers, but we were very excited. And what I remember about the game is we were so exuberant, like it was such a dramatic game, and we were losing our marbles over and over again that we actually cleared the entire bar of all these like tourists that just had no interest in it because we were just so rowdy. And I think we actually, like Ryan, I remember he like actually ran out into the street after the Batista dinger. It was pre-show, so I was like probably sipping a few Miller Lights because I typically don't drink before a show too much.
Being responsible, I understand.
Being responsible. We blew off sound check because the game took what seemed like about 15 hours to play. And then by the time the game was over, it was like I got to go take a shower and play a rock show, and I just was like so drained from the emotions that it was very hard to get it back up again there.
Have you, where does this rank among and listen, you are, for those who don't know, among the hardest core sports fans that I know. Where was this on the level of most emotion ever felt during a sporting event for you?
It's right at the top. I mean, alongside the Kawhi three-pointer last year against Philly. But, as far as Blue Jays goes, I was born in Australia, and I lived there until I was almost 11 when our family came to Canada. My dad's Canadian, but we moved back here. And so I came in 1995, and I missed so I really only got into baseball right after the Jays had won those World Series championships in 92, 93. So, and by the time I got here, the Jays were terrible. So those, 2015 and 2016 were very, very exciting years for me. And especially that 2015 team, they just seemed so magic. that moment was very, very special. It just felt like a magical year because you had the new kid in town, Donaldson, who just was a world beater that year, and then the trades. I had recently moved to Toronto, I think the year before, and just what a time to be in Toronto. The team was good. We kept adding these new pieces. I remember the day that Tulo came, we went to the game, and everyone was just fired up. It was just kind of a magical year, and it sort of felt like everything was kind of trending up. Of course, it didn't end up that way, but it was pretty special.
Yeah, felt like that.
Ewan, listen, this is going to be fun to watch tonight again. Game 5, ALDS, Rangers Jays 2015 on Sportsnet tonight. The watch party is going to be just a good time on YouTube and Facebook. Go to the Sportsnet accounts there starting at 9 p.m. The game, the rebroadcast on Sportsnet is 8 p.m. And relive, honestly, one of the craziest baseball games any of us have ever seen. Ewan, we appreciate you coming on, brother. You stay safe. Will you be taking in the game? Will you be taking in the game tonight like the rest of us?
Yeah, I'm gonna throw it on. I mean, it still gives me chills, and I need all the good vibes I can get right now.
Forgive me, before we let you go,
let us know.
Any quick update on new material for this show that we won't be paying for, but you will give us because you are a good dude?
Yeah, it's dictating the pace that I work at, of course, the lack of payment. But, yeah, I'm working on some stuff. It's tricky because I don't have, I can't get together with the guys, so I'm kind of having to play all the instruments myself. And, some of my other instrument playing is not the greatest. But there's some music in the works there, fellas.
Nice.
Appreciate it. Always great catching up with you, and hopefully the good vibes take you through the weekend. All right, man?
Right on, brother. Take care.